5 seconds. That's all I had left before the train would end everything. I could feel the rumble through the concrete, hear the screech of metal on metal cutting through the rain. My father's watch was clutched so tight in my hand that the broken glass cut into my palm. 4 seconds. I thought about my father's last words in that hospital bed, his hand going cold in mine. 3 seconds. I thought about my mother's empty apartment, the blood on the walls that the police said didn't matter. 2 seconds. I closed my eyes. 1. The gunshot split the night, but it wasn't aimed at me. The impact hit me like a truck, spinning me away from the edge just as the train screamed past, close enough that the wind whipped my hair across my face. I crashed onto the concrete, shoulder on fire, blood pooling beneath me. Through the chaos of screaming passengers and blaring alarms, I heard him, heavy boots running, not away, but toward me. Get her in the car, now. A man's voice, sharp and commanding, no panic, just cold efficiency. Chen, clear the security footage. Day, scramble their radios. We have 90 seconds before backup arrives. Strong hands grabbed me, lifting me like I weighed nothing. Through the fog of pain, I saw him sharp suit, sharper eyes, a face that belonged on magazine covers, not crime scenes. He looked down at me and something flickered across his expression. Calculation, irritation, and something else he buried too quickly to name. You just became a very expensive problem, he said. Then everything went black. I woke up 3 times. The first time there was only pain and bright lights and voices speaking rapid Korean. The second time, I saw marble and gold and thought I'd died and gone somewhere too expensive for someone like me. The third time, I opened my eyes fully and found him standing at the window, phone pressed to his ear, speaking in a language I didn't understand with a voice that could cut steel. I don't care what it costs. Find out who she is, why she was there, and if she's connected to anyone. He paused. No, don't touch her family, not yet. I need to know what we're dealing with first. He turned and saw me awake. His expression didn't change. He ended the call. You're conscious. Good. We need to talk. I tried to sit up. Everything hurt. Where am I? Somewhere secure. He moved closer but kept his distance, like I might be contagious. You were shot. I had my people patch you up. You shot me. I was eliminating a target. You were in the wrong place at the wrong time. His tone was matter-of-fact, like he was discussing the weather. The bullet ricocheted. Hit you instead of him. Inconvenient for both of us. Inconvenient, I laughed, and it hurt. Everything hurt. I'm sorry my near-death experience inconvenienced you. You should be. You're a witness to a sanctioned hit, which makes you a liability. He sat in a chair across the room, maintaining distance, studying me like I was a chess piece he was trying to figure out how to play. My name is Kim Tan, and you just became my responsibility until I decide what to do with you. What do you mean, decide what to do with me? I mean you saw my face during an operation. My enemies will assume you're connected to me, which puts a target on your back. So you stay here, under guard, until I neutralize the threat or... He trailed off, but the implication hung heavy. Or you kill me. Or I relocate you somewhere they'll never find you. He said it without emotion. Killing you would be wasteful. You might be useful. I'm not useful to anyone. The words came out bitter. I'm nobody. I lost my father 3 months ago. My mother disappeared 2 weeks after. I got evicted last week. I was standing on that platform because I have nothing and no one. So whatever you think I am, you're wrong. Something flickered in his eyes. What did your father do? Why does that matter? Everything matters. He leaned forward. What did he do? He was a doctor, cancer researcher at Hansong Medical Institute. I watched his expression carefully. Why? Does that mean something to you? His face was unreadable. Maybe. I'll know more in a few hours. He stood. You don't leave this room. You don't contact anyone. You cooperate and you might survive this, understand? Do I have a choice? No. He left without another word. Hours passed, then a full day. Guards brought food I didn't eat. A doctor checked my wound without speaking. I was a prisoner in a golden cage, and the man who'd put me here had made it clear he felt nothing about it except inconvenience. On the second night, the door opened. Not Kim Tan. A woman. Late 20s, beautiful in a severe way, moved like violence wrapped in a designer suit. "I'm Minji," she said, setting a laptop on the table. "Kim Tan's second in command. He sent me to explain your situation." "My situation is I'm being held hostage." "Your situation is you're alive." She opened the laptop, pulled up files. Ji Soo. Recognize that name? "No." "You should. She runs the Southern Territories. Gambling, smuggling, information brokerage. She's also the woman who almost destroyed Kim Tan 2 years ago." Minji pulled up a photo, a stunning woman, elegant and cold. She was his fiancée. The Kim and Ji families were supposed to merge operations, build an empire together. What happened? He fell in love with her, really, truly in love. Opened up for the first time in his life. Gave her access to everything. Accounts, safe houses, connections, weaknesses. Minji's expression hardened. Turns out she was a plant. Her family sent her to get close to him, learn his operations, then gut him from the inside. She stole half his territory, killed 17 of his men, and walked away with enough information to destroy him completely. Why didn't she? Because destroying him slowly is more satisfying than killing him quickly. She's been using what she knows to pick him apart piece by piece, and now... Minji turned the laptop to show security footage of the train platform. "She knows about you." My stomach dropped. How? She has eyes everywhere. The moment Kim Tan exposed himself to save you, she knew. And now she's asking questions. Who are you? Why did he risk himself? What are you worth? I'm not worth anything. That's not how she'll see it. Minji closed the laptop, which is why you're staying here until Kim Tan figures out her angle. If he hands you over, you die. If he protects you, she'll see it as proof you matter to him. Either way, you're in danger. Does he know? That I'm in danger? Of course he knows. Why do you think you're still alive? Minji stood. Kim Tan doesn't save people. He doesn't take unnecessary risks. The fact that he pulled you off those tracks and brought you here instead of eliminating the liability tells me something's different about you. I just haven't figured out what yet. She left, and I sat there in the dark, processing. Kim Tan had saved me not out of kindness, but calculation. I was a problem he was trying to solve. Nothing more. So why did that realization hurt? On the third day, everything changed. They moved me to a different room, larger, but with the same security. Minji appeared with clothes, weapons, and a no-nonsense attitude. "Kim Tan's orders," she said. "If you're going to be a target, you need to know how to defend yourself. Training starts now." For the next week, they taught me things I never imagined needing. How to break someone's grip, how to use everyday objects as weapons, how to disappear in a crowd, how to tell if you're being followed. D, a nervous but brilliant tech specialist, taught me about security systems. Chen, a man built like a mountain, taught me hand-to-hand combat with surprising patience. And through it all, Kim Tan watched from the shadows. Never speaking to me, never approaching, just observing with those calculating eyes, like I was an experiment he was running. Until the night, everything went wrong. I woke to the sound of gunfire. The compound was under attack, coordinated, professional, devastating. I grabbed the gun they'd taught me to use and made it to the door just as it burst open. Not an enemy. Minji, blood on her face, weapon raised. "Move! They're in the building!" We ran through corridors filled with smoke and chaos. Kim Tan's men were everywhere, fighting with disciplined precision against attackers in tactical gear. We turned a corner and came face to face with 3 of them. Minji dropped 2. The third raised his weapon at her exposed back. I didn't think, just raised my gun and fired. The recoil nearly broke my wrist. The shot went wide, hit the wall 6 inches from his head, but it made him flinch, turn toward me. That half-second was all Minji needed. She put 2 rounds through his chest. "Not bad," she said, breathing hard. "For a civilian." We made it to Kim Tan's command center, a reinforced room in the compound's heart. He was there with Dai and Chen, multiple screens showing security feeds of the battle raging through his home. "Status!" Kim Tan snapped, not looking up. 18 hostiles inside, another dozen outside. They hit 6 entry points simultaneously. Minji checked her weapon. "This isn't a raid, Tan. It's a siege." "I know." His voice was ice. "Jisoo's making her move." That's when he finally looked at me. Really looked at me. His expression was carefully blank, but something moved in his eyes, something that looked almost like concern before he buried it. "You're bleeding," he said. I looked down. My shoulder, the wound from the train platform, had reopened. Blood soaked through my shirt. "I'm fine." "You're not." He moved toward me, pulled me to a chair. "Chen, hold this position. Minji, coordinate with our outside teams. Day, keep trying to access their communications." His hands were gentle as they checked my wound, at odds with his cold efficiency. This close, I could smell gunpowder and expensive cologne, see the fine lines around his eyes, the small scar on his jaw, the way his hands trembled slightly before he controlled them. "You should have stayed in your room," he said, voice low. "They broke through my door. I had to run." "You could have been killed." "So could you." He met my eyes, and for just a moment the mask cracked. I saw something raw underneath, fear, anger, something that looked like it might be care before he shuttered it away. "You're a complication I don't need," he said, but there was no heat in it. "You saved me. That's not my fault. It was a mistake." But his hands were still gentle on my shoulder, still careful and precise. "A mistake I'm trying not to make worse." "What does that mean?" Before he could answer, the screens went dark. All of them. Day cursed, fingers flying across keyboards. "They cut our external power and backups. We're on emergency generators only. We've got maybe 30 minutes. Kim Tan's jaw tightened. "Then we move. There's a tunnel that leads to the garage. We take the armored vehicles and break through their perimeter." "They'll be expecting that," Minji said. "I'm counting on it." He pulled out his phone, made a call. "It's me. Execute the contingency plan. All assets, all locations. Now." He ended the call and looked at his team. "Jisoo wants a war. Let's give her one." They moved like a well-oiled machine. Kim Tan wasn't helpless or desperate. He was a commander directing troops with absolute authority. When we reached the garage, 20 of his people were waiting, armed and ready. "Teams of 4, Kim Tan ordered. "Alpha and Bravo take the east exit, draw their fire. Charlie team, you're with me. We go straight through the main gate." He looked at me. "You're with me. Stay close, stay low, don't do anything stupid." "Which team is that advice for?" I asked. For the first time, something that might have been humour flickered across his face. "Both." We loaded into an armoured SUV, Kim Tan driving, Minji in the passenger seat, me in the back with Chen. The engine roared to life. "Once we break through, we don't stop," Kim Tan said. "Jisoo will have people tracking us. We lose them in the city, then regroup at Safe House 7. "What about the compound?" I asked. "It's just a building. My people are what matter." He caught my eyes in the rearview mirror. "All of them." The gate exploded outward as we hit it at 70 kilometers per hour. Gunfire erupted from all sides, bullets pinging off the armoured hull like deadly rain. Kim Tan drove like a demon, weaving through obstacles, never slowing. Behind us, explosions lit up the night. Kim Tan's compound, his fortress, went up in flames. "They're destroying everything," I breathed. "Good." His voice was cold. "Let her think she's winning." We lost our pursuers in the maze of Seoul's industrial district, finally pulling into an underground garage beneath what looked like an abandoned warehouse. The place was anything but abandoned. Inside was another command center, smaller but just as sophisticated. "You have multiple bases," I said as we climbed out. I have 23 locations across the city. Jisoo knows about 6 of them. Kim Tan handed his weapon to Minji. She thinks tonight was a victory. It was a sacrifice. One location in exchange for information. What information? Every person who attacked us tonight will lead us back to her operation. We let them win this battle so we can win the war. He turned to face me fully. Which brings me to you. My heart sank. You're getting rid of me. I should. He moved closer and I saw the conflict in his eyes. You're a liability, a distraction. Everything I swore I'd never allow again after Jisoo. His voice dropped. But when I saw you in that corridor tonight, bleeding and armed and refusing to hide, I realized something. What? That I'm going to make the same mistake twice. He touched my face just briefly, his hand trembling. And I hate myself for it. Kim Tan? Don't. He pulled back like I'd burned him. Don't make this harder. I'm trying to keep you at arm's length because everyone I care about dies or betrays me. Do you understand? You need to mean nothing to me. Do I? Mean nothing? The question hung between us. His expression was anguished. You should, he whispered. God, you should. That's when Day ran in, laptop in hand, face pale. Tan, you need to see this. Now. We crowded around the screen. It was security footage, not from tonight but from 3 months ago. Hansong Medical Institute, the basement levels Kim Tan had mentioned. And there, clear as day, was my father. But he wasn't alone. He was arguing with 2 people, a man in an expensive suit and a woman I recognized immediately, Jisoo. What is this? I breathed. Keep watching, Day said quietly. On screen, the argument escalated. My father tried to leave. The man in the suit grabbed him. Jisoo pulled out a syringe. My father fought, but they were too strong. The needle went into his neck. His body convulsed, then went limp. No, I whispered. No, they said it was cancer. Natural causes. It wasn't. Kim Tan's voice was gentle but firm. That's a synthesized poison, designed to mimic cancer symptoms so an autopsy wouldn't raise questions. I've seen it used before. Day pulled up more files. Your father was Dr. Adeyemi, head of genetic research at Hanseong. But the basement levels aren't just research. They're a front for illegal medical operations. Your father discovered something. According to these emails, he was about to expose the whole operation. So they killed him, I said numbly, and took his research. Minji pointed to another file. He was working on targeted genetic therapy, something that could cure diseases by rewriting DNA. But according to these notes, someone was trying to weaponize it, turn it into something that could target specific people based on their genetic markers. Who? I asked, though I already knew. Kim Tan's expression was grim. Look at the funding sources. I looked. Shell corporations, offshore accounts, and at the center of it all, 2 names, Jisoo and Kim Tan's father. Your father was involved in this. I turned to Kim Tan. Your family funded this? My father funded a lot of things I didn't know about until after he died. His voice was tight. Including this. He and Jisoo's father were partners in more than just territory. They were building something. Your father's research was part of it. So my father discovered that his research was being weaponized and tried to stop it, and they killed him for it. I felt something cold and hard settle in my chest. What happened to my mother? We're still looking, Minji said gently, but if she knew what your father knew, she's either dead or being held somewhere. I looked at Kim Tan. You need to find her. I will? His voice was absolute. I promise you, Amara. We'll find out what happened to her. Why? The question burst out of me. Why do you care? You said I'm just a complication, a liability. Why risk anything to help me? He stared at me and I saw the war happening behind his eyes, the desire to push me away warring with something he was desperately trying not to feel. Because... He stopped, started again. Because when I saw you on that platform, I saw someone who'd given up, who had nothing left. And I thought, just for a second, that if I could save you, maybe I could prove I'm not completely lost to this world. his hands clenched into fists. But I was wrong. Saving you didn't prove anything except that I'm still capable of making the same stupid mistakes. Caring about someone isn't a mistake. In my world, it is. It's the mistake that gets people killed. He moved to the window, putting distance between us. Jisoo taught me that. I loved her. Really, genuinely loved her. And she used every moment of that love to destroy me. I swore I'd never let anyone get close again. I'm not her. I know. That's the problem. He turned back to me, and the raw vulnerability in his expression made my chest ache. Because if you were like her, I could protect myself. But you're not. You're brave and stubborn, and you don't give up even when you should. And every time I look at you, He stopped himself. I need to keep you at distance, for both our sakes. Before I could respond, alarms blared throughout the safe house. They found us, Chen said, checking security feeds. 4 vehicles, 20 hostiles. ETA 3 minutes. How? Minji demanded. This location is off the grid. Day's fingers flew across his keyboard, then stopped. His face went pale. There's a tracker, a digital signature embedded in... He looked at me. In the medical equipment that treated her gunshot wound. They've been following her this whole time. Every eye in the room turned to me. Kim Tan's expression didn't change. Get her out of here now. Tan, that's an order. Take her to Safe House 14, the one only we know about. He grabbed weapons, tossed them to his people. We'll hold them here, buy you time. You can't fight them alone, I said. I'm not alone, I have my people. He met my eyes and for just a moment let me see what he'd been hiding. Fear. Care. Something that looked like it might be the beginning of feelings he was terrified to name. And I'm not letting Jisoo have you, not while I'm breathing. Minji grabbed my arm. We need to go. Kim Tan? Survive, he said. That's an order. They dragged me toward a back exit. The last thing I saw before the door closed was Kim Tan checking his weapon, his face set in stone, preparing to face an army to buy me time to escape. We ran through maintenance tunnels beneath the city, Minji and 2 guards flanking me. Behind us explosions, gunfire, the sound of Kim Tan's world burning. Will he make it? I asked, breathless. He always does, Minji said. But I heard the doubt in her voice. We emerged in a parking structure 3 blocks away. A nondescript sedan was waiting. We were almost to it when the shot rang out. One of the guards dropped, then the other. Minji pushed me behind a concrete pillar, returning fire at shooters I couldn't see. How many? I gasped. Too many. She changed magazines. When I say run, you run. Don't look back. Don't stop. The car keys are in the ignition. Drive to... A bullet caught her in the leg. She went down with a curse. Minji! Run! She screamed, laying down covering fire. I ran, made it to the car. Hands shaking, I started the engine. Movement in the rearview mirror, a figure emerging from the shadows. Elegant, beautiful, deadly. Jisoo. She walked toward the car slowly, almost leisurely. A gun held casually at her side. Behind her, more of her people appeared, weapons trained on me. I had nowhere to go. She tapped on the window with the barrel of her gun, smiled, mouthed one word, out. I opened the door because I had no choice. Amara, she said warmly, like we were old friends. We finally meet. I've been so curious about the girl who made Kim Tan forget every lesson I taught him. I don't know what you're talking about, don't you? She circled me slowly. He saved you, protected you, risked his entire operation for you. Do you know how long it took me to break him? To teach him that caring about people is weakness? 2 years. I spent 2 years making him into something cold and efficient. And you undid it all in 2 weeks. I didn't do anything. You existed. That was enough. She grabbed my chin, forced me to look at her. Your father stole something from me. Research that belongs to my family. I need it back. And apparently you're the key to accessing it. I don't know anything about my father's research. Maybe not consciously, but according to his files, he embedded the encryption key in something only you have. Your DNA. Your biometric signature. Something that makes you the only person who can unlock what I need. Her smile widened. Which means I need you alive. For now. She snapped her fingers. Two of her people grabbed me, started dragging me toward a black van. Kim Tan will come for me, I said. I'm counting on it. Ji-Soo's laugh was like broken glass. This time, when he tries to save someone, I'll make sure he watches them die. And then, finally, he'll learn the lesson I've been trying to teach him. That love is just another word for suffering. They threw me in the van. The doors slammed shut. Through the small window, I saw Ji-Soo making a phone call, smiling like she'd already won. The van started moving, taking me somewhere unknown, and all I could think about was Kim Tan's face when I'd last seen him, preparing to fight an army to buy me time. Time I'd just run out of. Kim Tan's phone rings. He answers. Ji-Soo says hauntingly I have her. And this time, Tan, you're going to have to choose, your empire or the girl. I'll be in touch. Kim Tan's hand crushes the phone, all the emotion he's been suppressing finally breaking through. Rage, fear, and something else. Want to know if Kim Tan saves Amara? Want to know what her father encrypted and why Ji-Soo wants it so badly? Want to see Kim Tan finally stop fighting his feelings and burn the entire city down to get her back? Then smash that subscribe button because part 2 drops in exactly 24 hours and I promise you, the war that's coming will change everything. These two families are about to learn that the most dangerous man in the world is one who has something to lose. Don't miss it. See you soon.